Hello everyone, welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's YouTube video, we're going to continue the part 3 of the portfolio, which is a risk return analysis. Under risk return analysis, we are going to upload 3 consecutive videos. The first video, we're going to talk about what is return, and secondly, we will be talking about risk theoretically, and the last video will be about a risk for the purpose of the calculation of sums. So let us start with the first video, which is return. Here, we already have discussed that return in portfolio is called as expected return and not merely return. So portfolio, it is expected return. So we already know what is return. A return is the total income an investor gets from his or her investment every year, and is usually it is a percentage which is been above the original value of the investment. So that is your return. But when it comes to portfolio, it is always expected return. So to compute the return, there are two methods being followed. So the two methods are, one is when you're having an historical information, then how you're going to compute the return is considered as one of the method. And when you are having the information which is in the terms of probability or possibilities, then we are having another set of formula which we will be used to computing the return. So here when I talk about a return under portfolio, it is your expected return, right? So let us see how to compute the returns under each of this method. So the first method is expected return using historical information. That is, whatever historical information you are having related to that portfolio or investment is considered to be your historical information here, right? Because I'm going to do an investment, then I know how much I have invested in particular stock A and how much I have invested in particular stock B. So with these historical informations, I'm going to find the expected return. Here the formula is ERP. Here this P refers to portfolio and summation of ERI into WI, where this RI indicates your stock and WI indicates the weight of that particular stock. So when it comes to a portfolio, we already know it's a collection of investment. It is not up to one stock, but it is a collection of stock. So we have to do the summation of all this expected return into its weight. Like you see below, we have just provided the terms where ERP means expected return of portfolio, where N means number of stocks in the portfolio, and ERI is represents the expected return of stock I, that is one particular return, and WI represents to the weight of stock I, or it can be a weight of stock A or B, doesn't matter. So this is our first formula. So how we will use this in sums? Let us see a very simple question to understand the concept better. So see here, there is an investor owns 3 stocks. Considered I am the investor, Remuki is the investor, and in Remuki's bucket there are 3 stocks A, B, C. In simple terms, let us consider 3 stocks, one is A, B and C, and it is provided the expected return. Here the expected return of stock A is 18%, and expected return of stock B is 12%, and the expected return of C is stock 10%. And also I know how much worth of stocks I bought. So the stock A, I bought it for 25,000. And stock B, I bought it for 15,000, and stock C, I bought it for 10,000. So all these 3 stocks is my portfolio now. So now I want to know how much return this particular portfolio is giving. Do I have any market probabilities? No. So now what I will do is I'm having only these information with me. So I will use these informations to compute my expected return of the portfolio. So, and this can be done through 2 steps. One is I will be calculating the relative weight of each stock, and secondly I will be using this relative weight to find my expected return of portfolio. Let us see how it is done. So you can see here in step 1 I'm going to calculate relative weight of stock. So weight A, that is stock A. You can see here stock A worth is 25,000. So the total sum comes to be how much? 50,000. So out of 50,000, the 25,000 goes to stock A. So now I am going to weight it. 25,000 divided by the whole amount, which comes to be 0.50. Similarly, I am going to do for stock B and stock C, which comes to be 0.30 and 0.20. So now you have to keep it in mind whenever it's a probability or a weight. When you just find a relative probability or a relative weight, the summation of that probability or the weight should always be 1. So that's why if I add 0.50, 0.30, 0.20, it should land in 1. So you should keep in mind, okay? If it's not 1, then somewhere it's incorrect. Completed the step 1. Let's move on to step 2. Here we're going to use the relative weight we computed in step 1 to find the expected return of portfolio. So we already saw what is the formula for it. So it is expected return of portfolio is equal to summation of expected return of all the stocks. So here how many stocks I have? So I have stock A, that means expected return of stock A into weight of stock A, and expected return of stock B into weight of stock B. So if I, and also I'm having third stock which is C. So I will be computing the expected return for all of these stocks individually with the help of the weight, and I'm going to add it. That's why the summation is placed here. Okay. So if it comes to be 14.6 percentage. So if anybody didn't understand, you can also put like this. So what is a portfolio? Portfolio is a collection of investment. So now the investment is A and B and C. So this is a collection. So it's an addition, right? A plus B plus C. So now you can find the expected return of stock A before going for ERB. Instead of linear format, I'm going to do like this. So what is the formula? We already know expected return of stock A into the weight. So if I calculate, it's already here, so I'm not going to do it again. So it will come to be 9%. Similarly, you can do it for individual stock level like this by substituting the values, and then if you add all these three, because it's a portfolio collection of investment, if you add all three, you will get the expected return of portfolio. Hope this is fine. So moving on to the next second method of computing the expected return of portfolio, it is when we are having the probabilities with us. So it's very simple. So similarly, in the previous step, we are going to multiply the weight, but here we are going to multiply the probability. So expected return portfolio is equal to summation of the probability of all your returns. So ERP is nothing but expected return of portfolio, PI is the probability of the stock, and R is the return of the stock. Let us see a sum to understand this. Now, I'm having another portfolio. In that, I'm having stock A and B, and I know the probability of this particular stock is going to be. So let us consider you, whoever watching this video, is the investor now. So, and you are having two stocks in your bucket, and it is your portfolio. So now stock A is giving a return of 20%. This is what you know. It has been out there. You're saying the stock is going to give a 20%, and the probability of this 20% is only 60%. So if the probability is 100%, you will get the entire 20% of return. But portfolio is not like that. It's an expected return. So the expectation is only 60%. And now let us come to stock B. The return is 6%, and the probability of earning the 6% return is only 0.40 or 40%. So now with these informations, how are we going to compute expected return of the portfolio? Is by using this return of portfolio is equal to probability of your stock A into your return of the stock A, and similarly you will be doing for n number of stocks which is available in your bucket, and finally if you're adding it up, it is the summation, and that will give your expected return of portfolio. That is, if you don't want to put it in linear format, the easiest way is, we know the portfolio is nothing but collection of stock. Here two stocks are there, so ERP is what we wanted. So we have to add the expected return of stock A plus expected return of stock. So now instead of I am going to find it separately, what is stock A? So if I use this formula, PARA, which comes to be 12%, then I'm going for the second one, PBRB, which comes to be 2.4%. So now if I add this two, it will be your expected return of portfolio. So I'm going to close this video now for the returns. So in the next video, we will be seeing what is risk and how to calculate the risk. Thank you for watching.